Malcolm training tutorials using GitHub. In this video, we will learn about account creation, the Malcolm repository, and top tabs. Topic 1. Account creation. In order to use GitHub, you will need to register for an account. Begin by navigating to GitHub and clicking on the Sign Up button. Enter your email, then create a password and username. You will need to check your email for a verification code to finish the registration process. Topic 2. The Malcolm repository. On GitHub, an open source project's home, the place where you can find its source code, documentation, and other resources, is called a repository. Malcolm's repository can be found at github.com/sysagov/Malcolm. Topic 3. Top tabs. Let's go over the tabs at the top of the page. Code. The Malcolm repository contains all of the code needed to build and run Malcolm. The Code tab contains the files and folder structure that organizes Malcolm's source code and documentation. Here, you can browse Malcolm's source code and view the history of modifications, known as commits, made to that source code. Two other features of notice on the Code tab are the link to the Malcolm documentation, found under the About section in the right-hand column, and the link to the releases, where you can download Malcolm release artifacts and read about the new features and fixes found in each Malcolm release. Issues. On GitHub, issues are an open-source project's way of tracking requests for new features or ideas, as well as reports that something is not working as it should. Anyone who is logged in with their GitHub account can create or comment on issues for the Malcolm project. The hallmark of a good issue is detail. Whether or not the issue is actionable depends on how detailed it is. The Issues tab isn't the place for general Q&A or troubleshooting. That's what the Discussions tab is for, which we'll talk about in a moment. Pull requests. This tab is mostly for developers. A pull request is the mechanism by which modifications are proposed for acceptance into Malcolm. All pull requests are reviewed by Malcolm developers before they're considered for inclusion into the Malcolm source code. Discussions. The Discussions tab is a collaborative communication forum for the Malcolm community. Here, Malcolm users can ask and answer questions, get announcements about Malcolm releases, have open-ended conversations about the project, share success stories, and more. The Malcolm Discussions board is organized into 3 categories. Announcements. General announcements is where the Malcolm team will share details for events like conferences or other major news related to the project. A new announcement will be posted to the Releases subcategory whenever a new Malcolm release is published. These release announcement discussions are a good place to talk about releases improvements or new features. Discussions. The General Discussions category is used for just that, open-ended discussions related to the Malcolm project. Generally, these discussions aren't about dealing with getting a question answered or a problem solved, as we'll leave those to the help section below. The Success Stories category is where the Malcolm community can come to celebrate one another's successes. We'd love to see community members share how they're using Malcolm to achieve goals and solve problems. The Help section. Under Q&A, community members ask questions and can help answer the questions of others. The Training subcategory is the place for discussions about training resources available for Malcolm, including documentation, videos, and more. Under Troubleshooting, Malcolm users can share problems they've run into and help each other resolve those problems. In the Help category, helpful comments that resolve discussions can be marked as answered to help point future readers in the right direction. Actions. The Actions tab shows the results of automated builds that are performed on GitHub's infrastructure when changes to the Malcolm source code are introduced. These actions are part of a development practices of CI/CD, or continuous integration and continuous delivery. Projects. The Projects tab is where Malcolm issues are categorized and prioritized for development and inclusion into a Malcolm release. Malcolm has 2 projects. The first, simply named Malcolm, tracks development tasks like new features and bug fixes. The second, Malcolm Training, tracks the development and release of resources for learning Malcolm. Wiki. The Wiki page contains miscellaneous written materials that don't otherwise fit into the Malcolm technical documentation. For example, the Wiki is where you can find the Malcolm Learning Tree, a list of Malcolm training resources, and links to documentation and videos covering a variety of topics. Security. The Security tab links to the Department of Homeland Security's Vulnerability Disclosure Policy and lists any security advisories disclosed by the Malcolm team. Insights. The Insights tab displays statistics about the Malcolm repository and the community as it pertains to project development, such as a list of contributors, commit history, forks of the Malcolm repository by other individuals and organizations, and other metrics. In this video, we learned about account creation, the Malcolm repository, and tabs at the top. Thanks for watching. Check out the description section for links to the Malcolm GitHub site, a Malcolm discussion forum, and more.